back to Headbangers podcast. We're with Foetal Juice today. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing really well, cheers, yeah.
How's
Nice one.
how's lockdown life treating you? Besides being pretty shit.
To be fair, just fucking crack on. Just carry on working, carry on doing all that shit. I've never had time off, which is a shitter.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just probably drinking less and socialising less, obviously. So it's just all the boring bits of life without the fun bits, basically.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. What
Just
about you,
looking-
Ryan? Oh, go on.
I mean, I don't know, mate. It's not really changed much for me. Like, I just do the same shit all the time anyway. Gigs and stuff I am missing, though. Like,
Yeah.
Getting really big withdrawal symptoms, to be honest. I think because it's almost coming up to like a year anniversary since my last gig that I went to. I think it was like Arcspire in Manchester, December the 5th. So almost coming up to the anniversary now. It's quite sad. But
I remember.
Yeah.
Might have been one of ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Mine were I Eyes Murder in Leeds. That was my last gig.
oh no,
that's
yeah,
good.
no, that was the one. Yeah,
That
January.
literally the last gig. And I never thought I'd miss gigs so much. But it's like you don't realise how much you miss something until it's gone, really, do you?
I never
Yeah.
realised how fucking free time I've got. Because of, oh shit, wait, let me get rid of that call. Sorry.
You know, it's-
I never realised how much free time I had when I stopped gigging, if you know what I mean. How every work holiday that I had was to go to a gig or to play a gig or to do anything or a festival or anything like that. And now it's just like, oh, I've got to take 4 weeks off now, but I've got fuck all to do, so I don't know
yeah.
what to do with time.
Well,
That's
that-
now.
Yeah, well, at work they've made us book all our holidays off, and it were really funny. At the end of this month, I was meant to go to Whitby with my girlfriend, and that got cancelled the minute the second lockdown happened. So I've got like 2 weeks off work where I'm just going to be doing literally fuck all. It's
Sounds
literally nothing to do.
I mean, I've had like long weekends for like this weekend. I was supposed to go to Belgium for my girlfriend's birthday. Last weekend was a mate's wedding, so I booked like Friday, Monday off, and then next weekend we've got some like recording stuff with other bands. But it's just like all this extra time off that I didn't need. But it's good as well, though.
It's absolutely mad. Like I'd never thought how much I'd miss gigs, because I was literally just sat there thinking, I was like, I tell you what, if someone went out and they're like, there's an underground gig, don't tell anyone. I was like, I think I might go. If someone just went, there's an underground one. Yeah, I'd be like
There
so
was a
tempted.
few there was a couple at Blackwood that like socially distanced ones, like that were like I didn't end up going to them, like because I had work, I think. But yeah, they were supposed to be really good.
Was that
But,
actually outdoor, that one?
Yeah, it's outdoors, so it was kind of all right.
What was like a metal gig?
Yeah, like black metal.
Oh wow,
Isn't it usually?
Pretty sick.
sounds
Yeah.
quite authentic, to be honest. Like,
Exactly. I mean, it's not much different to other gigs because, like, no one's at them fucking things anyway. So it's as socially distanced as it's always been.
it's more isn't it?
It's just like underground metal gigs that no fucker like. 10 people at the retro bars, fine.
Yeah, no.
I think
difference.
I remember like when lockdown got eased, I went to band practice, and there was like we turned up and there was like loads of people loading in. And we're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on? I was like, have you just got a gig going on? They're like, oh yeah, we're doing a socially distanced event. It's an indie band. And we hadn't seen any bands play live for that long. That me and the guitarist Jordan, everyone left, and we were like, do you want to just stay and just get pissed and watch some indie bands because there's no else to do? It's like, so we were,
That's how
Take what you can get, yeah.
the only scenario where that's great.
we were pretty good, to be fair. I ended up getting proper shit faced. It's like me and Jordan watch. It's like play Wonderwall.
That's about as unexpected as the year.
Yeah,
Literally.
you know, it was actually a pretty slap up like fucking gig, to be honest. Like the bands actually were really good, to be fair. So yeah, I kind of want to get onto the to your new album, Gluttony. So like,
Right.
what was the writing process for Gluttony? Was it in the works for a while?
Well, I think we had a few songs that me and Rye were working on for maybe a year or so, something like that, and then kind of forgot about them whilst we were gigging Masters of Absurdity. And then basically me and Rye kind of booked a studio, and we were just like, right, that'll give us an aim to fucking get the songs finished. And then like a month before the studio, we kind of got together to try and write some songs. And it's kind of like we had like a week basically. He came up to mine for a week and we tried just kind of slogging it out at band practice. We ended up just getting pissed basically. And then like the last 2 days was like really intense band practicing and like writing 4 songs a day pretty much. And then yeah, just kind of panic wrote a few and then just expanded on them. And then our bassist left.
Oh really?
Yeah. So we got like a new chap called Lewis in, who's fucking brilliant. Like he learned it from like, because we already had the studio booked, so he learned these songs from like shit phone recordings that me and Rye had. And just like within a month of joining, he was like, there you go, studio ready, and just fucking swatted it straight away in the studio. Like, which was brilliant. But yeah, it's the writing process is just me and Rye get smashed and see what happens.
Best way to do it.
Last one.
Yeah, but it's that thing of like we both got really strong opinions of what we want, and we're both really hard to impress. So when you're trying to impress each other, it's like it's pushing me to try and impress Rye, and it's pushing him to try and impress me, because it's not gonna, like, even like one little look from him is just like, yeah, I know it's shit. Like I'll stop doing that.
Face constantly stuck like this.
What was it like dropping the album in lockdown? Like, were you guys quite nervous to do that with the whole situation going on? Did you feel like it'd be quite good to release it in this time scale because more people have got time to sit down and listen to it than like having like busy working lives?
Well, it was a complete accident, to be honest. Like, because originally we had little tours and festivals booked around it. So we were supposed to play what is it? Nice to Eat Your Death Fest and Fuck the Commerce and like Czech Republic, Germany.
Yeah.
Loads of gigs everywhere around that kind of release date. And it was already set in stone, the release date, so we couldn't move it anywhere. And then the lockdown happened, and it was just like, it could be beneficial. We could kind of just let it out anyway at this time and see what happens, because there was no kind of real guinea pigs at that point.
Yeah.
Because everyone, like, it looked like it was going to be a good idea, because everyone was, like you say, everyone had time at home and they were listening to music and they were doing that and they were trying to, like, missing gigs and trying new stuff. But I think by the time June came around, when our album came out, it simmered down a bit then, and everyone was like more concerned about health and what the world's like and all that. Like, everything turned really political. So then our little album came out in the middle of it, and it was just kind of like, well, to me it was kind of pushed to a side because more serious shit's going on, basically.
Right.
And so I don't, and we've not been able to promote it at gigs, and like a lot of our grab is like, if you play in a festival in a foreign country, no fucking knows you, but they think your name's a bit fucking stupid, so they'll check it out for 2 minutes because and then they're like, fuck, that was good, I'll buy that off you, I'll get into this, rather than because we're a pretty small band still, so we've got like, it's about building the fan base to get the album out there.
The grind.
Like, people that know it get it and they love it, but it's just not reached that further point yet, which I think is the curse of releasing during lockdown.
You just need to stay active, though. I mean, we weren't that bothered about the outcome of it because we were kind of finished. We'd already been sat on it for a little bit because we had all the tours set for it. So we were just kind of like, fucking hell, let's just get it out, because we wanted to just get it out just to see what happened, basically, just to see if people actually, liked it and stuff.
Yeah.
And he did get some really good feedback, to be fair. I mean, we've always been critical of what we receive anyway, in that sense, but I don't know, it was just fucking... It might not have been the best time in the world, but we stayed active, and to be honest with you, like, he'll definitely make us better for the next. So we've definitely learned things doing it like this, so we can be a bit more prepared next time, which is...
To be fair, though, as well, what else were we going to do? Like, we had it ready to go out. If we didn't release it then, we'd still be fucking sat on it now, because we're in a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't know the end, do you? Like, when's the end of lockdown going to be? Like, you're going to wait forever to release it? Like, it's best to get it out.
You know? Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then we just started writing shitloads of more stuff, like more music. But, like, Rye's just writing on his own now, because he's, like, we both live in different cities now. So it's difficult to kind of get together to practice. So, like, he's writing loads of riffs and sending them over. And I'm pretending that I'm doing over it and and sitting on my ass doing nothing.
But yeah, I mean, it is giving us a lot of able to write new stuff as well. So it's got its perks, but yeah, it could have been better, I reckon.
I really enjoyed it. Like, I've been listening to it for the past couple of days, and I gave it another listen today, and I actually genuinely like really like the album. I think it's proper well done. And like, me and Brad have been like fans of yours for quite a while. I remember first time I heard of yours was a couple of years ago. My mate Caleb went to I can't remember what band you were supporting, but he came back and went, "Have you ever heard of Foetal Juice?" And I was like, "No, why?" He went, "Sit down and fucking listen right now." And he played it. I was like, "This is fucking sick." It's like genuinely one of the top tier bands, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think actually one of the last gigs I went to was seeing you guys, because you were with Cryptic Shift and Boom, and that was like a really good gig, and that was like one of the last ones I remember actually from 2019.
Yeah, Cannabis Corpse one.
Cannabis Corpse.
Cannabis Corpse, yeah, Cannabis Corpse. You guys, Cryptic Shift, and I'm not sure which the other bands were, but
yeah. There was
it was a good gig there.
Slime Lord, I think, played that as well.
Slime Lord, yeah, because they smoked out the entire room, didn't they?
Yeah. And was it Withered? Something like Withered.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
That was our new bass player's first ever gig.
Really?
Introduced him, yeah.
Yeah. So like that, he had that, and then he had one other that was at Boom again. And then we was supposed to play Hammerfest and then fuck off to Europe and then do some other shit. So he's not kind of, and he's a student in Leeds as well. So he's joined this band and played his hometown twice and then done nothing.
He had stuff to look forward to, didn't he? And he just got thrown out the window straight away. Just like...
I mean, if all goes well, you guys are set to play Insinuation Festival in London, aren't you? With like Dark Funeral, Bloodbath, Emperor, like that. Yeah. I bet you're hoping that goes there, because that'd be an amazing tour and like amazing bands to play with.
Yeah, that'll be fucking man. It's Steve Moss is fucking brilliant, the promoter of it. He's someone we've got on with for years, like, and we played there once before, maybe twice.
Did he not start in Cornwall?
He started. He got his gig in Cornwall years ago, and it's kind of progressed from there, and he's turned out to be running all this big shit now. That's fucking amazing, and I'm glad he still likes it. But yeah, it's such a good fucking lineup that.
Vomitry. I'd like to go to
it. Fucking Vomitry. That we've just.
I'd have been happy with just that, but it's very nice bonuses on that one.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
as long as you don't put the class in Vomitry, it'll be all right.
Yeah,
that's so true.
We're like on the subject, like obviously you've played with quite big bands. Like, what are the top 3 bands that you've actually played with? Like, on your like top tier list, what would it be?
Well, we did Entombed. Entombed AD, I think it was though.
Yeah.
But it was still like really good. Get like beating Lars and that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It was like we've just support like at festivals we've done so many good supports with all that, like Cannabis Corpse. I mean, Ghoul were up there, they're fucking brilliant. Like we played on the same, like, because Vomitory's always been our favourite band. We played on the same bill, but like on the same stage at the same day. But I think we were first on and they were headlining, so that doesn't fucking count. But yeah, that Extreme Fest in Germany, that was fucking good. Yeah, just like one of our favourite bands are Desecration from Wales, and like we've done a few tours with them and loads of gigs with them that are just like every time you see them, they're fucking incredible. Like even when they pissed up, even when they're just like an absolute mess.
Yeah, when we first met them, they were like one of our biggest influences at like that time. When we were like first touring with them in Ireland and all that shit, it was mint.
It's still a fucking out. Like every time we get on a fucking gig with them, it's still like, man, that's what you want. Like every time. It's one of them bands that just kind of, I don't know, it just grabs you every time live. Because if you're hanging around all day as well, like, get pissed up, take the piss out of stuff, and then everything they've done in the day kind of comes out on stage with their kind of cheeky Welsh banter. Yeah, it's just really funny, great guys.
What was it like playing Bloodstock and stuff? Because you guys played second stage, right?
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah,
because that was like it was funny, like kind of, when you look at the photo at the end of it, and it's like there's more people there watching one gig than likes on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, what fucking bullshit that is. But like it's such a good, like playing them kind of stages is incredible. Like, yeah, I think it's still the biggest gig that we've done. Just for new fans, like Lewis, our new bass player, that was the first time he saw us and first time he heard of us. So that instantly grabbed him. If it wasn't for Bloodstock, he wouldn't have auditioned to do this, and he wouldn't be on the album, and etc. etc.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
fresh out of the studio, don't we, for that one? So we actually played all right as well, because we'd just been in, we were at Skyhammer studio.
Yeah.
So we were quite fresh, and we kind of just got like, tightened it all up and then played that gig, and it was just fucking really good. But
yeah, just really well.
Really busy.
Yeah, fucking Bloodstock, like they really do smash it with the lineups, like pretty like consistently. The amount of bands that have like gone in to like the Sophie stage or anything like that, and I've not like really listened to them. I've been like, fucking hell, they really do smash it. Like each year, like they really do.
Festival of that kind of, they bring through loads of young talent. Like they've got the New Blood stage and all that kind of stuff, and you have so many bands on that are like that you'll see in Manchester or we've played gigs with, or like loads of mates bands play that festival, and it's amazing. Like watching kind of like like 10 Foot Wizard and the Crawling from Ireland and Pissed and fucking just so many bands that from over the years on a big stage like that, and loads of people watching it and loving it is fucking great, because like it's a tribute to the fans there, to be honest, because they're all giving a chance to bands they've not heard of, whereas a lot of festivals won't do that.
Yeah, it was like when you look at like places like Download, like you can feel like because it's bigger in scale, it's more like kind of focused on like we need to make the bands happy. Do you know what I mean? We need everything, but like Bloodstock, because it's small, it feels like we need to make everyone happy.
Yeah,
I mean, like because that's what they're relying on the most. Because they know Download knows that regardless of like who's playing, there's gonna be loads of fucking people that go anyway. So they're in a really comfortable spot where they're just like, yeah, fuck it. But like Bloodstock, because they're smaller, they're like, everyone needs to be happy, man. Like,
yeah, definitely. I think the thing with Download and festivals that size as well is you've got a fucking mission to get to the stage, so you have to be dedicated. Like the amount of times I've been and like, oh, I've not heard of this band. Oh, they're all right. I've heard one or two songs. They're on at 11 o'clock. Oh, fuck that then. Like,
it's like a proper commitment.
4 miles and get up.
It's a planned festival's not a good idea, is it?
Like a Bloodstock.
Waddling to the arena with shave every fucking day.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 5-mile walk to the stage.
Yeah. It's like at Bloodstock, you can literally just
fucking dying in sun. It's just
like at Bloodstock, you can literally just go to the headliner 5 minutes before the start, stroll in, get to the front, grab a beer, and you sorted download. It's like you got to plan an entire day just to get to one band.
Just to get a beer.
Yeah, that's it. That Bloodstock, you can be asleep, hungover, and some fucker could drag you through the fence, and it's done.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Easy.
No one's going to do that at download.
Well, it's like last year was my first download and first Bloodstock, because I've been on apprenticeship wage for like since I was 18.
Yeah.
And I actually finally got a pay rise. So the first thing I did, I was like, right, boys, download and Bloodstock's getting booked. Fucking, so I splurged on it, and I remember it was such a weird contrast from going to download then to Bloodstock, because at Bloodstock, like, we were like, oh, the band's going to start in like 5 minutes. And we'd still be sat in the camp having a beer.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if we wanted to see someone that was on, like, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'd be up at 7, like, fucking come on, lads. We need to get there.
We just fucking miss it. It just, like,
the amount of bands that you end up missing at fucking download because of that. Because you kind of, even though it's all about the music and shit like that, if you get there and you've not got any fucking beers or any money to get beers, you're fucking fuming. When you know that you've got 2 crates of beer in a fucking tent and a bottle of rum over there, it's like, well, I can't just nip and get that. It's like, I'll stay at the tent until I'm nice and pissed, and then I'll fucking head over at like 3 or 4 and be there for the day. So you're not doing them trips. So it makes the whole vibe there completely different. It's all about smuggling in empty crates of wine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like
Bloodstock have reached a sort of commercial that's fine. I think anything after that is when it starts getting to the 5 mile walking to stages because of the capacity of it.
Yeah.
It's like the campsites alone are like fucking acres upon acres just because of the thousands of people. So I think I prefer it when it stays relatively underground until at least like 9 o'clock at night, and then they start bringing in the big guns basically.
I don't think that Bloodstock wants to get any bigger. I think they said they were happy with the size that we are at the moment. They're still dragging in enough crowd. So
it starts getting shite when it's anything else. Well, for me anyway.
No, I agree.
I really like to see, underground stuff and download and stuff like that now. So you'll get Satyricon on maybe like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, doesn't feel right, does it? Seeing Satyricon in broad daylight.
Yeah.
The rest of it's kind of commercial stuff, what's in Kerrang or whatever, but...
Well, I think it goes with what music you're into as well, though, because I'm into a more underground kind of death metal-y, black metal-y kind of vibes. You're not going to get them at big festivals. So instantly you're watching bands that you think are okay rather than amazing.
Yeah, but they all kind of started like Bloodstock, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's a lot of these festivals that are massive now actually used to have really good bands on. The lineups like Ozfest. Yeah. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah, but then we were a lot younger then, though, as well. So, like, into a lot more commercial stuff, all the kind of stepping stone bands.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, like, this... Oh, I remember... So, last year, I got drug searched at Download, right? And I'm not even kidding, worst experience of my entire fucking life, right? So, right, nah, I thought it was going to get to that point. I actually did think it was going to get to that point. I was, honestly, so it immediately got off to the worst start. So, me and my mates, we tripped all the way to the fucking car. That took us about an hour and a bit. It was pissing down rain. We were fucking falling down all the fucking mud in the hills and shit like that. And we finally got a crate of beer, because that's the only thing we could carry because we were fucked from the walk. So let's just grab a crate. That's it. So we're carrying this fucking crate down, and we go down the hill. And we're going down, like the strip to get in, and these two like fucking fakish police officers pull us over, sort of thing, and they go, "Excuse me, lads, have you got anything you shouldn't have?" I'll go...
An erection.
Yeah, Put that in your bag.
Stonker on, mate. But I was there like, nah, why? And he goes, right, you look very suspicious, so we think we're going to search you. And I was there like, what? And he went, we need to know that you're going to get consented to being searched. And I was there like, well, what happens if you say no? And he goes, "Well, we'll chuck you out the festival for not complying with us."
Fine.
And I got started getting really annoyed, and because he was really disrespectful, was the bloke. So I remember my mate Caelan was right next to me. Now I think Caelan might have had something on him, but he'd already brought it in, but he forgot. But because he was like, because obviously you're getting questions, you start second guessing yourself, like even though you know you don't have any.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I remember
I gave the story.
yeah, well, I was getting like, I was getting angry.
Just
I was like, yeah.
in your head. It's like,
Well, I was
you
like,
got nothing.
I was like, fine then, fucking search us. And I remember looking at Caelan, right? And like, he didn't say anything, but I could see in his eyes that he was looking at me and went, who the fuck did nominated you to do all the fucking talking? He was like, just staring at me. So we got searched. Anyway, we got back. Funny thing is, though, we had edibles in our fucking tent. So if they actually searched us when we come in rather than when we came back, they would have fucking found some.
I'd like to imagine that it's just like random festival goers that just wanted some drugs, some free drugs. So like, right, let's pretend to be some security here, get some free weed.
A lot of them people do camp there as well, so they just want some weed for themselves, basically.
Yeah, and
those fucking honesty boxes at the beginning. We used to have
Honesty
pull their hands in there on the way in and throw the pocket. Crack on. The way that we used to get it into the download was always kind of, if you get like a jar of coffee, empty some of the coffee out and put the coffee on, it doesn't smell, dogs don't go for it. And then you fucking sound, it looks like you've got a coffee for the weekend camp. Crap.
Sticking out around.
I might actually use it the next time. It's fucking honest. Like I was so I remember I sat there and had these edibles, and it was I put it in a Tesco's bag, and I remember the bloke pulls it out and goes, "Can I have one?" And I was like, yeah. He fucking gets one out, he eats it, and I was walking away like he's gonna have a fun fucking shift in about an hour. So I was fucking there like, well, yeah.
It's late creepers only cake.
If you're eating random things off people that you're suspecting of having drugs, you're not a fucking security guard.
exactly.
I was just thinking. I remember like walking out going, I wonder what his shift will like later on. Because like, I could imagine him just sat on a desk check chair like, oh man, I feel weird. I don't know why.
Feeling good, right? I've got to go home now.
Those fuckers knocked me out for like 2 days. Oh yeah, fucking it lasted days.
There was one festival we had, because I quit smoking for about 6 months or something. And we played a punk festival, didn't we, in Wales? Was it Wales? What were it called? That Dirty Weekend or something?
Yeah, Dirty Weekend.
It was actually really good. The festival set were awesome. It was just like a little outdoor, like, setup thing. But anyway, fucking, my mate had made me this weed fudge because they knew I'd quit smoking, but they knew I wanted to get stoned kind of thing. So anyway, I throw this fudge in my mouth, and she just looked absolutely horrified. And I was just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And she just said, you've just eaten about 4 days worth of weed in one go.
Oh, shit.
Completely,
they absolutely baked.
That day, I remember it got to night, and then after that, 2 days just went completely missing. Just no idea what happened for 2 days. But there's been photos back of it, and I was getting really wrecked still. But... absolutely blanked out completely. And then we had to play on the last day, thank God. But I remember feeling like shit. When we had
Not fucking surprised, to be honest.
Yeah. You offered Ben's place in your tent as well. We had like a mate there.
Oh, yeah.
And when Rye was high, he was just like, oh, you can just, stay in mine, you're fine. It's big enough. There you go, you're all right. And then forgot. And woke up hungover, throwing up with him next to me.
You were next to me, and I was throwing up all over the inside of the door, like the netting. I was like, you're like leaning forward, like really ill. And I just looked at him and said, what the fuck are you doing in my tent? He said, you let me stay in here. I was like, oh my God, there's 2 days, honestly, just went missing. No idea.
That's like
swear a fudge.
That's like what happened to Brad at Bloodstock. He had to share a tent with our mate Ed.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tell them the story, Brad. It's fucking great.
Right. So I thought, Bloodstock's usually fine with weather. Every year that I've been before last time, it's always been quite sunny, never any wind. So I got one of those like Amazon pop-up tents. We had a review, like, great tent, doesn't fall down, it's waterproof. I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. I can be sitting having a beer before everybody else. So I pop it up. Seems fine. We go to watch did we go watch a band on the Thursday or something? I went to Sophie Stage.
Yeah, we went to the Sophie Stage.
Yeah. I came back and my tent was absolutely destroyed. Like there was poles sticking out everywhere. Like the only thing weighing it down was my crate. So thank God the crate was still there, so I had something at least. So that tent was done. I'm surprised I didn't see it like flying away during Sabaton or something. But we came back, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have to sleep in your tent or something because it's just destroyed.
Yeah, and then Ed came back at like 5 a.m. on the first night, and like midway through the night started throwing up out by behind the back of the tent. Like there was like a little window, so he peeled it and just started going. Ugh. So Brad was just sat in the tent like,
this is a fucking nightmare.
I remember that fucking year that we played, the morning of that, I was so fucking hungover. I literally just unzipped the front of my tent and had my head out and just throwing up until about half an hour before we were on, and then we had to fuck off and play it. And I felt like shit until we sat on stage.
Times that though where we've been really rough, and then we've looked back at the footage of the gig and it's been really good. Yeah, where we're fresh and it's been like fucking hell.
On the topic of that, like, what's your funniest gig stories? Like something that might have happened while you're playing a gig, or just anything to do with that? Like, could be a festival, a gig. Like, what's one thing that sticks in you guys' minds of being like the funniest moment out of your career as a band?
There's always like fuck up kind of funny. Where it's just like there's a gig in Leeds that we played at Eiger Studios. It was like what was it called? The Yorkshire Riffer.
Years ago. Oh yeah.
I was supposed to be on at like 9 o'clock, and then a few other bands were supposed to, like Afternoon Gents and Eagle Twin, I think they were called, like an American band. And then we were amply pissed for playing basically. So we had like a bottle and a half of red wine each or something like that before we were going on, and like. Because we spent the day there pretty much, and we were like, right, we can't have any more. Let's get on. We'll start playing. And then the promoter came up to us just before we were supposed to play, and he was like, look, we need to swap some places around. You're on after this band instead. So it was like, well, if we stop drinking now, we'll just get hangovers in the daytime. So we just had to kind of carry on, power through basically. And then it happened again on the next thing, and we ended up playing at like 1 a.m. And we were fucked. We were just an absolute mess. Like the first, like, I think I watched Clutch like 2 days before, and they had loads of cowbells. So I've like, in that time, I kind of found loads of cowbells to have next to my drums and do loads of fills on that. Just because I was, yeah. And then like, I think for the first 4 songs, the bassist didn't even plug his amp in. Like,
fucking hell.
And our singer fucking fell through the drum kit. I think 2 or 3 times during the
twice,
and then turned around and pissed on the drum, and he like went out into the crowd and he was like speaking to mates of ours, going like, "Oh fucking hell, look at these are good," and it's like, get on fucking stage now, like just finish the fucking.
He pissed himself on that one as well. So when he got his knob outside,
rock and roll,
and just fell over the drums instead, and it was like, you fucking know, and then. Like, cleaned it up afterwards, obviously, because we got made to. And then, yeah, so that was a fun gig. I think
it's got to be
on YouTube.
Certainly memorable.
Yeah, exactly.
And they said, yeah, we're actually like considering, like,
when
you knew that we had been pushed on as well. So yeah, because I think we explained ourselves pretty well, but when we got on there, we were just completely legless. You know, like legless. It was just like.
Probably help with the nerves at least.
Well, yeah,
stage fright.
We don't really get that anymore. I get like if I'm doing a big gig like Bloodstock, I kind of get it a couple of days before or a week before when you're thinking about it, and then you get close to it and it's like, what's the point of being nervous for this? It is what it is. Like, it's not, if I fuck up, no one there's going to know the fucking songs anyway. So like, it's not me that's going to notice. And like, you just take pressure off yourself and shit like that, because it is what it is. Like, the worst case scenario is that you're fucking noticeably nervous as fuck.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
No,
Your leg chipping out. You can't stop your leg moving.
I get more nervous for things like this than I do for playing games.
Really?
Yeah.
See, at this point, I don't get that nervous when it comes to interviews. I get nervous, when I'm waiting for someone to come on the meeting.
Yeah,
That's when it starts setting in, because I'm there like, I know I've got all my questions on, but what if I forget?
yeah. It's that. See, that's the thing, because the songs, we've played the songs a million times. You know the song. You know how to redeem it if it fucks up. You know how to treat each other on stage. You know how to do that. Like, you're in control of that, and you know exactly what's going on. But like in here, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say, if you know what I mean. I think I know what I'm going to say. But then someone will come out and it's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. Or
there's no point planning it, because it just comes out like shit. Die.
Basically, and it's hard to fucking reel it in.
Well, that's what we used to do with the podcast. Like, I used to always look back and go, I used to say just stupid shit, like, just stupid jokes. And I'd look back at the footage going, why the fuck did I say that?
Yeah, we had like a good laugh the other day, because like it was the second episode of the podcast and Nathan was absolutely baked. Like, you could see just the deadness behind his eyes when he was talking. I was just like, it's just funny looking back at it.
Why did you think Ryan's lights off?
Well, the thing is, with that episode, it was the day, like, literally, I think it was the day before I went to download, and I tested the edibles the night before. I was like, let's see how potent these fuckers are.
Yeah.
And I tried them, and then I woke up like, oh fuck. So I fought through it. I still filmed the podcast, but then I look back and I'm not even kidding. You could just see solace in my eyes where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like,
I played a gig in Edinburgh once. I think it was called like Vonfest, like with Party. No, the Party kind of wasn't there. It was like Scumpulsed and the band, I think Wolf Bastard. And yeah, we like the day before, me and Rye had a few edibles, and they were like, yeah, these are like, because I made a batch of them. And just kind of had like two of them, and just thought, right, we'll see how these are ready for Edinburgh, to the tester ones. And it was like, yeah, these are really good. And then I fucking drove up, and Rye ended up eating like 6 or 7 of them, like, because it was just like, I think he was just getting high anyway, and had the munchies, and he was like, oh, they're just really tasty. And just had all.
How it gets you.
And then like,
got me though. We were lucky with that one. Really lucky, because he got me just as I walked off. Just after we played, and I remember just sat on these fucking stairs, like, with my head in my hands, just like sweating. And the headlining band, one of the members were like tapping me on the shoulder, making sure I'm all right for ages. And I remember just going, mate, you're gonna have to leave me alone, like, now. You just kept going being nice, but I was just like, fucking hell. Proper blasting me, like.
It kicked in before you got on stage, right? Because you literally didn't move. It was like playing with a statue in a backing track.
You look at that photo as well, and my eyes coming back. They're literally closed. I'm just smiling with my eyes closed, just playing. But as soon as I got off, honestly, that's when it went tits. Fuck.
I remember
go, just bang.
I remember I had a similar experience. It was the first time meeting my girlfriend's friends properly. And I had about half a crate of Brewdog. And I was like, normally I'm okay. I'm gonna have a smoke. So I had a smoke. And I remember just being sat down and they're all talking, and I genuinely felt like I'd been hit by a train. Like, all I just felt was just tunnel vision. I was like, I'm not okay. And then I remember everyone just kept going, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, just give me 20 minutes on my own and I'll be fine. So I remember they went, I was like, is there any way I can go to just to like ride this out? And they're like, yeah, you can go into the toilet if you want, in case you throw up. So I was like, okay. And I remember I crawled into the bathtub, and I just sat there, just like in deep whitey thoughts. Do you know what I mean? You know when you just sat there like having like existential crises and shit.
Yeah.
You just start like, and then like one thought would just create another one, and then you just end up going down into a fucking tunnel. I remember just being sat there like fucking Neo in the Matrix with my eyes closed, like, and then I snapped out of it, came down, I was like, I fought it, I'm fine now. But all night I just felt a little bit off, but I was literally like fighting it with my life. So,
because you gave a shit.
That's exciting. That's why it becomes obvious. It's when you just accept the fact that you you fucked it is when it actually. You just seem to ride it better than when you're panicking. Or if you're in a car, that's well bad.
I can't imagine why you're in a car.
Oh, God, that is really bad. Or in like a tour van or something. And there's like 6 people sat around you. And you're like, all right. It's like, you notice them looking at you like, you look bad, don't I?
We played a gig a few years ago in Wolverhampton with Ingested. And we like drove down with like a mate of ours, drove us down in his van. And obviously we just got wankered and like pretty high. And then on the way back, it was like a 2.5 hour drive or something like that. And as we were kind of getting near home, you know, like when you just see flashes of light from the street lights coming in, and he looked up, and he had this brand new fucking hat, and he just took it out and threw up in it because he didn't have any windows in the back, and just fucking fell back asleep but gripping this fucking hat. And then when we got to the gym ring, he just launched it on the wall and it just stuck.
It's literally just that was awful. So we had to sleep on amps as well. We were in the back of this van and they were all amps. So I lay on the cap sideways, you know, like a fetal position, just thinking, it's awful.
Oh.
Lights were coming in, just like flashing. I thought, I'm done. It's my new Thinsulate, whatever they call it, Thinsulate hats.
Well, on the subjects like touring and that, like, what's your favourite, like, what's you got? Like, what's your favourite moments from tour? Like, the funniest shit that's ever happened on tour? Like, because I imagine there must be a couple highlights.
There's honestly loads of stuff. We've actually...
Sorry, it's just constant funny shit happening all the time. Because I think we're just a magnet for random shit, like fucking up or doing something wrong. Like, we do a few tours with, like, Scardatara and Basement Torture Killings and stuff like that. And it just absolute carnage from start to finish. And it's like me and Tam from Scardatara were trying to build his drum kit in Amsterdam, and obviously we couldn't, even though he's made it like a million times before. We couldn't make the frame because we enjoyed the day too much, essentially. And then we just couldn't make the drum kit for fucking ages. But it's like it's just a constant laugh. There's nothing that. Yeah, nothing stands out because everything stands out, if you know what I mean. We just start chatting about something. It's like loads of in-jokes and loads of kind of shit that goes on that's just kind of forgotten about until someone brings it up again. It's like, oh, fucking hell, yeah. Yeah, right, did run down a hill and shit himself.
Yeah, that's a true story then.
It's not a true story.
Not right, is it true? It's always me as well. It's fucking stupid. I'm the only one who enjoys myself in this band.
So I think that's like the good thing about Foetal Juice is like you guys don't take yourself too seriously with the songwriting as well. Like, you know, you've got songs like Albert Grindstein and Dutch Oven. Like, what goes into like the process of writing these lyrics then?
I think earlier on, I've still got a fucking random list on my phone. Like I've just always, if I've thought of like some funny fucking pun or something ridiculous, like I always write down like a song title and then write what the song might be about, and then forget. You know, when you're just pissed up with mates,
Yeah.
And then forget about it. And you write a list, like just this fucking huge list that it's turned into. That's just all like. So sometimes we pick from them and try and go kind of like write what the fucking lyrics could be, and then if a better term comes out in the lyrics, it'll turn into that.
Yeah, you just try to get a basis to work with, really. You know, like just get like the backbone of it down, what you kind of general idea, and then you can just work from there. Really,
yeah. And then some of them just end up fucking ridiculous and turn into songs, and some are too ridiculous to turn into songs, and then some sound like fucking pornos that you'd never watch. And then some sound like fucking like just loads of shit that.
I mean, a lot of the newest stuff's actually more serious now, really.
Yeah, I noticed that actually. Yeah.
The concept's a lot more real, but we'd still take the piss now and again.
Lyrics are kind of similar. They're still kind of lyrics and funny subjects, but we've just kind of done it with a more serious title, like kind of
like vicious humor. Like it's quite violent, but it's still humor kind of thing.
Black humor sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just
you
kind
think
of
like it's important to like not take yourself too seriously as a band then, like obviously the musicianship and the scheduling and stuff like that, but like in terms of just how you perceive yourselves.
Yeah, because like that was the whole point in being called Foetal Juice, because we only ever wanted to be a death metal band, and that's what we do. And we've played gigs with so many bands and know so many bands that are just like robot death metalers, where it's just
there's so many,
and you try to have a laugh and it's like no, my symbol has to be exactly here, but like, and it's just like fuck this, like what's the point? So we've kind of done it with like a kind of grindy punk attitude, because we're big fans of all that kind of scene as well. And we just like, at the end of the day, it's music for us. It's something that like we wrote this because I want to listen to this, and it's fucking, and I don't want to, I'm not a serious person, so why just be fucking serious? We'll write the music well and make it as serious as possible. Yeah. But then I'm going to fucking spurt like loads of shite in the fucking lyrics because I talk a load of shite, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I don't give a shit about all the other things.
That's what I love about like Foetal Juice, is that when you see you guys live, like you're so much for the show as well as the music. Like you know, you proper make the crowd laugh in between, and like you said, you get all these robotic death metal bands that take themselves way too seriously, and you end up not having a good time because they're just there to be as technical as possible, but they don't think about entertaining people.
Yeah, they give more of a shit about like, right, we need to get this exactly like the CD. We need to fucking write this next song is entitled. Go in and it's just a fucking barrage of bass drums that cover everything up because the triggers are always too fucking loud, and it's just the boring fucking riffs, and they just. Yeah, we just want to be the opposite of fucking that, basically. I want to entertain myself.
But we still want to be very like tight and aggressive live. It's like still wanting to be death metal live, and you get with a lot of that serious attitude, they still lack that live though.
Yeah,
it sounds kind of generic because it's, to me anyway, it does get generic because it's just comes with a serious attitude. You expect it to be spot on. Do you know, like fucking. With that kind of attitude, it has to be, and more often than not, you can't. Fuck.
I think we've written with a kind of openness for live, though, if you know what I mean. We've written them to be like, here's the skeleton, here's on the CD, here's the skeleton of the song, and then live we add all the fucking colour to it. Like, so you do different fills, and me and Rai like try and catch each other out with stuff. So we'll do a little random stab in places and hope that he doesn't spot it, and then fuck him over so he looks like a dick live, and then they'll fuck me over later. And then like at the end of a song, they'll always do the big shh, and then that I'm going to do another hit, and then someone will just go blink on their own and look like a prick. So like it's all kind of to fuck each other over. It's all for our own fucking entertainment.
It works well with that anymore though. I kind of know what's going on with that. Even if I'm not looking at you, I know when that stab's coming.
Well, it's like I've seen yous I think about 3 times, and each time where it's like you've got me to the point where I'm hyped and I'm fucking jumping into a pit and shit like that, but then after that you got me to the point where I'm like pissing myself laughing, like because it's like all the it's like it's a great balance that you've got, because it's like you don't feel like you just sat there and it's only for like the scene, like, you know, to take himself seriously. Like, it genuinely feels like you're there just to have a bit of fun and just make everyone else have a bit of fun, which 100% goes out throughout the entire gig. Because the amount of times where I've been sat there fucking pissing myself, like being like, these guys are great, like.
Nice one, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of it, though. That's the whole, like, it's a fucking party night. You don't want to. Well, sometimes you do want to go to a place and be serious on a weekend, but it's about letting your fucking hair down and just go there, have a laugh, get pissed.
Absolutely.
Don't give a shit about things for the fucking 4 hours that you're at a gig or 3 hours that you're at a gig, and then go home and then just deal with your serious shit at home, kind of thing. There's too much serious shit all over the place.
Absolutely.
And it all kind of blends in because there's just that much of it. It's just
everything's too. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone's annoyed about something or another and verbal about it.
Hands are called COVID now, like 5 million. I mean, I've not seen any yet, but it's coming. Like,
well, that's such a good point because people are genuinely pissed off like all the time. Like, it's to the point where a lot of people like think I'm quite weird because I don't really use social media like a lot. Like, only if I go, oh, that's a nice photo, I'll post that. But I have like a policy: is you take more than 4 selfies a day, you need to find something else to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Because like, why are you taking 4 photos of yourself a day?
That's the thing. I wouldn't be on
poses on the same couch.
No, I mean, I wouldn't bother because it just saps all your time and energy for nothing. Who are you trying to impress? It's better without all that shit. Just fucking, like, if I weren't in bands and didn't have kind of, it's got all the kind of calendar stuff. It shows you when, like, because you're clicking go to a gig, it pops up on my thing going, oh fuck, we've got a gig. Oh, we've got this coming up. Oh, and it brings you aware of all the festivals, all the gigs that's going on, what everyone's doing, which is a good part of it. But it's just not necessary, if you know what I mean. It's just kind of someone trying to show off to someone else for no reason, just to piss people off, kind of thing. It's just like, oh, my life's amazing, when it's not, because no one is. So it's just fucking crack on. Just stop trying to belittle other people.
Yeah, it's like you see someone on. It's like I know so many people that when I've met them in person, it's like completely different how they came across on social media.
Yeah.
It's like I'll meet there was like, I'm not going to say the name, but there was this person that I know, and you know, there were no like person in person, but on like Twitter and Instagram, they are the biggest cunt I've ever met in my entire fucking life. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've got them muted to the point where I can't see them because I'm like, I don't want you on social media to spoil like how I think he is as a person in person. Because when I've met him, I've been like, oh, how you doing? And it's been a fucking lovely conversation. Yeah. But then they'll go on fucking Facebook and be like, oh, what are they posting now? Oh, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like,
no, exactly. Loads of close mates do that. Loads of close mates that we've had for years. You look at the Facebook and it's just like, who the fuck are you? Like, this isn't. You also want to give a shit about, and this isn't that.
It's funny because you can just call them out on it, like, who are you trying to fucking fool?
What are you doing?
It's not you at all.
Yeah, it's like I'll rinse them. I'll like message him going, "What the fuck are you doing?" As if you actually fucking posted that you did. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we fucking know for a fact, like we've had conversations that you're not like that. You know what I mean? I'll just fucking grill him on it.
Yeah, also a lot of people this virus at the moment.
Oh yeah.
On media anyway, like Facebook and shit. Fuck, it's like, I mean, I just post like troll stuff basically, like taking the piss. It's always either taking the piss or music. But you get a lot of serious political bollocks coming up all the time, and it was like that before the virus. It was fucking Brexit before then. Now this shit, back to Brexit afterwards.
Everyone's just become a politician now that like lockdown's happened.
Talking about either of them.
A politician apart from the politicians who just become cunts.
Yeah, I just find it mad. Like sometimes I see people arguing about politicians, and I'm like, whoa, calm down. they're all just knobs. You're just picking what knob you want
That
to
easy.
fuck you, and
Yeah.
how painful the fuck will be either way.
Exactly, yeah. It's just
Like,
Fighting over a shit situation anyway. It's not worth it, is it?
yeah,
Right,
it's like
definitely.
it's like trying to pick for what 12-inch like dildo do you want to shove up your ass? Like, you don't want to shove it up your ass.
They're all
But
grit.
which one looks like it's not going to hurt the most? Like,
Well, people always go for the one with the fucking knobbles on it. And Bojo's face appears.
So we do have a segment on the show. We all know that you guys listen to metal, but like, do you have any guilty pleasures? Like, what do you put on when you're in the shower when no one's looking?
To be fair, I don't feel guilty about anything I listen to. I mean, we're both kind of
Just
massive
pleasures then.
Enya fans. Like we love Enya. Enya's fucking amazing. And then like just everything that's done well, really. Like random swing shit, and I listen to a lot of rock really at the minute, like loads of ZZ Top and stuff like that.
That's another.
You what?
The Boney M for fucking ages.
Yeah, Boney M, ABBA's mint.
Driving to gigs, yeah, ABBA.
Driving to gigs when you're touring, like it's rare that metal bands listen to anything metal. Like you just got like Ministry of Dance TV on repeat. So just fucking cracks on, and then fucking Scatman John comes on randomly.
yeah.
But to be honest, like I can't imagine like say Belfagor or something saying, "Oh yeah, we listen to ABBA on the way to our next tour." But I can totally imagine you guys just jamming out a bit of ABBA in the tour bus. On the way.
Like we did like my other band did a tour with Widgie Dude, you know, the black metal band from Belgium.
Yeah,
Like,
I've heard of
super
them.
serious, like fucking incredible band. But like they came out of the tour bus every day with like Scooter on, and then like right serious from there on kind of thing. It's because it's like it's aggressive scally music, if you know what I mean. So it's still got aggression in it, but it's happier aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't imagine like a black metal band like putting on the corpse bit and in the background just Scooter playing like I got the money, I got the face. I mean, like the fucking pain in the face.
That's what I do in my fucking black metal band.
I read something about that Scooter, and I think he's released something new.
Yeah.
Not released something new recently.
Well, it's the last recent one I saw.
one
Right,
second.
it's no worries.
What's that, mate? Sorry.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The most recent one that I saw was there was a video and it had Wiz Khalifa in it, right? And I'm not shit you not. Watch this video because it's one of the funniest music videos I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just a bunch of girls jumping on trampolines, and then randomly this girl gets like a breast pump off a tit, and Wiz Khalifa's mouth's the nipple.
Oh, amazing.
It's fucking hilarious.
Nothing 2020 is getting wilder.
I'm not even kidding. I watched it. I was like, I'd never thought I'd want to see Wiz Khalifa on a tit.
It's like looking at you
It's like amazing. Honestly, I watched it. I was like, I was not expecting that, but whoever edited that, that fucking up.
What's the tune?
It's let me bring it up.
Because I'm sure I won't be able to find it just by typing Wiz Khalifa on a cheb.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be definitely the most searched at the moment.
I did search. I did search Wiz Khalifa tit, but it's come up with like loads of articles calling him a tit. Let me see if I can bring it up.
I think it just adds to how mad 2020 has really been. Like, you literally don't know what's around the corner. Just the half of it.
It's called...
Pandemics, talking tits.
Yeah.
It's called Big Room Blitz. It came out 6 years ago. It's the funniest fucking video I've ever seen in my entire life. Genuinely, it's so funny. It's just so unexpected. It's so unexpected. You just see fucking Wiz Khalifa's like little beard and fucking mouth just rapping, and he's on a fucking tit.
Jesus.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to ask you, obviously you was on that Channel 4 thing with the guy from Made in Chelsea,
Yeah.
that
Mark Francis.
that Mark Francis. How did that come about? Like, because I remember it being circulated online and stuff, and like it was really fucking sick to see. But like, how did you know?
I hate shit like that. Like, as a start, I just want to fucking say, I fucking hate doing stuff like that because I'm nervous enough chatting to a person on a fucking webcam. Never mind, like, on a TV with all this fucking shit. Like, we basically got an email from Channel 4 saying, look, we know you've got this gig coming up in Bolton. We're doing this program with Mark Francis. Do you want to do this? And we were like we chatted about it for a bit, and we just kind of thought, well, if we don't do it, you're going to get another metal band that's doing it. That's like, you know, one of them, like, yeah, metal. And it's going to give everyone a fucking horrible, like, you know, all the dickhead Pantera fan kind of.
Yeah.
And we just thought, if we've had this opportunity to kind of do it, and I don't really want to do it, but we're going to at least make the metal kind of community look better than if some fucking knobhead metal band does it.
No, it's right that you guys did it.
So we kind of like, it felt like we kind of took a bullet with it, if you know what I mean. Even though it's been good promotion and it's good for that kind of thing, it's like, it's completely out of our comfort zone. And it was just like, someone else is going to fuck this up and we're going to all look like pricks if they do that. So, yeah. But then it ended up being a really good day. Like, the gig was amazing.
We look like this.
He just got his wanted, basically. And he was really nice. Like, we chatted to him all day and he bought us drinks and he was just like, him and the whole team were great. Like, just like, out of all the interviews we've had up to that kind of point as well, he asked some really good fucking questions. Like, he's so like oblivious to it all. Like, none of it kind of made it in. Like, we did a big section where we kind of sat in the garden and chatted for ages, and he had this list of questions that were really good, in-depth questions, and it was a good conversation with it. But like, then we were kind of chatting, and it was like, well, this looks like it should be something for BBC Three rather than Channel 4. We need to kind of spunk it up a bit. But there was a good bit where our bass player scared the shit out of him as well that didn't get him. He was basically going up to our singer saying like, oh, go on, give us a scream, show us what a scream is, show us what this is. And out of context, a fucking death metal scream sounds ridiculous. It's fucking shit. And our singer knew, like Sam knew, that it's just for here you go, look stupid on the fucking TV. So he was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not. Like, kept saying no to him. And our bassist kind of crept next to him and just screamed in his face really fucking loud.
Yeah, we had a PC.
But it was amazing. I just want to see that bit of footage again.
Was there anything that like wasn't put in there then? Like, because obviously you said that you're filming all day, and the video I think was about 5-6 minutes. It was amazing, but like, was there anything that was like kept out of it?
There was so much because we kind of did it really. I think they went round kind of trying to find extreme versions of stuff.
Yeah.
To find it ridiculous, whereas we did it in a really kind of, even though like we call Foetal Juice, it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like, going to be showing off. They're going to be doing it, and we did it in a really positive, good way. Just saying, look, we listen to all sorts of shit. We're just normal people. Like, like we listened to Caravan Palace the other day. Do you like Caravan Palace? Yeah, it fucking had a conversation about random drum and bass and shit that he was into, and it's just like, you just like normalizing it. Because it is really, it's not like, oh, you're in this band, so you're fucking ridiculous and you torture animals and do this and do, and it's like, no, you got the wrong impression of it. Just be normal.
Just a bunch of guys.
Well, I imagine like the producers of that were wanting a bit more craziness. You know, kind of like what you have seen in the past of them kind of things where bands are like starting fights with like pop bands and stuff, and stuff like that where they're not mixing well, and we were just actually getting on with it.
Yeah, they're wanting like some like Lords of Chaos Mayhem shit, like you guys just there with the fucking gasoline and lights burning down churches.
I think they wanted us to be like offended by him, like offended by look at these fucking this rich guy trying to get onto our turf doing that, and it's like, No, it's like genuinely trying to get an opinion of stuff because he's paid to do that. Like whether like he wouldn't have chosen to do that anyway, but because he's being paid to do that, he's genuinely interested in it because it's his thing. So that's what came across, and it was like right, sound like I think he did it really well. There was no really acting bits, if you know what I mean. There was nothing where it's like
it felt genuine.
Yeah,
it felt genuine. Yeah.
We did, didn't we, on the spot? It were good. It were all right.
Yeah,
I weren't embarrassed by it anyway.
Yeah, it was mad because like when I first saw it on Facebook, I saw it and I was like, immediately I was like, oh fuck, are they gonna like make out like we're all weirdos and stuff like that? And then I watched it. It was quite positive.
Yeah, quite wholesome.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, actually,
stuff, but fair play. It looks fun. It's like at the end, his conclusion of it was like great.
Yeah. I watched it. I was like genuine takeaway because you don't like actually see a lot of like mainstream media cover it in a positive way.
Yeah,
they always try and find like the
shit.
maddest band. Like and go like, what are these guys like? And you know, they've probably gone through like 4 other bands and they're just like just normal guys, and they've just found that one that has a few weird guys in it, and then they just out of context took it.
I think this is why they went for us, because we call Fetal Juice, and they thought, right, these are going to be fucking weird. And it was just like, no, fuck you. And like we made sure in the contracts as well, because we got the contracts earlier, you know, for like all the kind of releasing of it and stuff. And like we got a friend who was like a trainee solicitor to look over it and just make sure that there was a clause in it that stopped taking anything that we say out of context, if you know what I mean.
That's important.
We're saying we fucking, you know, like you just say a kind of sentence that they can just move into another place and put a voice over and just have it different, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's I think it went all right, to be honest.
That bit though when you couldn't say your name, it was straight away as well, straight off the bat. It was like he just walked in the house. We were like stood there like dicks in this like line, ready to introduce ourselves. Rob was first up. And this guy, Mark Francis guy, went, "Hi, I'm Mark," and then Rob fucking jumps in, and he just went, "Hi, I'm Gotcha." His name completely fucking wrong. I don't know how. Like,
if you watch it again at any point, just watch out for that bit. It's fucking awful, honestly.
I'm just watching that bit again.
I think I was really fucking nervous, and I had something else planned in my head to say something like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And he just went, "Hi, I'm Mark," and I was just like, "Baby."
No, as long as I don't get like a fucking copyright claim from Channel 4, I might try and put that bit up on the podcast.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, do that, yeah. Definitely. I've got that clip somewhere. I took it off.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't let me put it on that playthrough video we're going to put up.
I tell you what. I wish there was more stuff like that, like where it actually frames it in a positive light. Because for one, I'm in my work, I'm the only guy that's really into metal there. So like the minute everyone kind of finds out, they're kind of like, I remember when someone said to me, "Oh, it's surprising that you're into metal and stuff like that." I was like, "Why?" No, because you seem quite normal. I'm like, because like everyone that's into it is normal, right? Like it's not like we're all fucking sat in woods sacrificing goats to fucking Satan. Like, we're genuinely just people.
If you're in the same situation as that, like me, for example, where it's just like, you're there at work, getting on with everyone, you're there for a few months, and then you're like, "Oh, you're in a band now. What's your band called?" And it's like, "Oh,
here we go."
Sorry. It always comes with like an apology, because it's like, and I always kind of explain it as like, it's not a bad name. It's not like Blended Fetuses. It's like, what's it called? The liquid that looks after a baby in the womb.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing. It's not horrible.
It's more wholesome than you think.
Yeah,
It's not decapitating the fetuses.
Yeah,
in retail, I just used to say people, it was like Beetlejuice, just to get rid of him. He was just like, "Yeah, we're called Beetlejuice." Like, do you know that film? They're like, "Oh yeah," it's like done. You know, like done
the conversation.
See, at my work, I try to hide the fact that I'm in a band as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I'll walk around and I'll be like, you know what I mean? I'll just be like, I just don't want them to ask questions on it because I know they just won't understand it and they'll fucking try like, well, not subtly take the piss, but like start asking questions where I'm like, yeah, you know.
I'm really surprised though, because when people do ask about it, they genuinely want to know, and it's like, oh, what are you doing on the weekend? And you're like, right, I'm doing this. I'm playing a gig. I'm going there. He's like, oh, fucking hell, that's mint. Like it's just a fun kind of. Well, some people take it wrong anyway, but they always fucking will.
Oh yeah.
No one takes us on though. We've tried to piss people off loads of times, and they've never tried to, like, give us anything back. It's always just like, yeah, just leave them to it, kind of thing. Leave them to their own shit.
Exactly.
But we've tried to, like, playful trouble, nothing serious, but just get a bit,
bit of jesting.
fire going, and nothing back ever. Just leave
I think a lot of bands do that though, but it also sometimes works in their favor because even though like people are kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, you start like a little fire to try and piss some people off. It works in your favor because you get publicity and people actually go, oh no, this band's sick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We've put loads of like posts up where it's like, oh shit, that might set off some some creeps. And he never has
done anything to piss anyone off. We've not like, I think we just kind of do our own shit to entertain us. If you know what I mean. If someone pissed off, it's not. I don't think, all right, I'm gonna piss these off.
Oh no, yeah, it's not delete. It's like we just think shit. What we posted there could potentially,
Yeah, there's been a few conversations that me and Ryan have had where it's been like, should I have posted that? Like, should I take this down? Kind of thing. And it's just like, well, you thought it at the time, and you're essentially Fetal Juice. So why the fuck do you have to be some kind of fucking persona? It's like when you write.
Everyone has those before person anything, but it doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to have a bad reception. I think it's just the thought before person, any sort of picture, any sort of thing, like, oh, someone might get offended by this, or someone might take this in the wrong way, but it doesn't really matter in the end.
Yeah, no one gives a shit. Like, don't, like, as soon as you start thinking about what you're putting on and what you're putting up, like, then you've lost, if you know what I mean. It's for you. It's for everyone else. If other people like it, amazing. But it's for fucking me, if you know what I mean. You're not making fall from it, apart from a bit of an ego.
Yeah, precisely.
Just a bit, like, just having kind of pride in what you're doing, if you know what I mean. That's it. It's a hobby that's gone further than we ever expected, and we just enjoy fucking doing it.
Yeah.
At the end of
that's the point. Yeah.
That's the best way to treat it though. In it, like, I feel like I know so many people that, like, when they started a band, I had this friend, and we ended up falling out because we both started our bands at about the same time, but mine slowed down massively. So I kind of like, we're just working on shit, but he's got a lot of attention straight away. He started going on tour, and suddenly he just started becoming really arsey with me, just not responding to me. Like, I'd see him at shows and he'd ignore me, like, and shit. I was there like, what the fuck, man? And he basically just grew this massive ego out of like the initial like buzz you get from coming out, and I was just sat there thinking, oh, fucking come on, man. Like, I remember when you're sending me shit recordings on the Google Drive. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of kind of jealousy that goes with being in bands, because it's one of them things where, because you're proud of what you've done, like, I think in any fucking band, because any band's proud of what they've done and what they've written and the amount of effort they've put into it. You're looking at some bands kind of like, you'll go to a gig that you really want to go to, and there's a band supporting that's just like, okay, if you know what I mean. And you just like, should have done that. Like, why are they doing that? And like, but I think that happens anyway. And you look at kind of some friends bands that have exploded somewhere else, and some kind of like loads of tours that are happening, and you're looking at it going, fuck, I wish I was on that. But then it happens the other way around, where they're looking at you going, fuck, I wish I was on Bloodstock, I wish I was on Obscene It. But then it's things just come round. If you plug at something fucking hard enough and you're doing it well, you'll get noticed and you'll go somewhere.
That's not so much jealousy, that though. That's kind of normal to want to be doing that anyway. It's just like, you just see something good like that, you're like, I wish I was. It's not jealousy, but you do get, the sly fuckers as well doing it, and it's just, we just have all this shit.
There's a lot of backstabbing in the scene sometimes. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
it's hard sometimes to know who to like proper like gel with, because I find like you just
We've got our mates now and stuff because we've been doing it for fucking years. But yeah, we have, there's always been competition throughout. Not that we've ever put it on there, but it's been noticeable, especially like of late.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people don't get is that if you just turn up to a show and have fun doing it, people get that energy from you, and then they go, "I'll go see them again." That's what causes people to blow up. It's not whether how big the venue is, how big the audience is, how many people are listening to you. It's about what you actually do when you're actually playing your music. That's actually what fucking matters.
Like, I play a gig with fucking 50 people as long as they're all fighting each other. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the best gigs where they're like on the stage, where you just cymbals are getting knocked over, and you get pissed off when that happens. But it's not the end of the world. The gig's fucking great. If you feed off the other energy as well. Like if a crowd's going sick, you go sicker. If you know what I mean, it just kind of. You bounce off it, and if no one's moving, you treat it like a band practice.
Yeah, everyone's got to be having fun.
But you need to make a move. That's your fucking job. If you know, that's what you're striving to do. I just want to see a fucking fight. I want to see a tooth fucking fly over me. That's all I want.
Yeah.
What's on that subject? It's like, what's like the weirdest thing you've seen going on in the crowd whilst you're on stage? Like, what's like one thing you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
to be fair, there's been like a few of them kind of, the pyramid.
Fucking watching.
Build a fucking thing.
Oh, what's her name? Roisin. I think Roisin once at one of our gigs, this girl we know, she ended up getting in a fight with a lad, didn't she? Can you not remember that in Preston?
Yeah.
He ended up pushing this guy over, and he went straight into my amp. And he tipped that, and he ended up knocking, like everything over at the back. She completely stopped the stage up.
Like literally amp into the PA, into something else behind me, and then into something else.
Domino effect.
Like the gig carried on, but it was just like, what the fuck? But then like we've seen a few fights and stuff, and I think there's been a few injuries, like a few broken toes, and a few kind of people that have shown us pictures afterwards. And my girlfriend broke her ankle at our singer's old last gig.
Fucking hell, really?
His last gig, which was fucking grim. Because I didn't know until the end of it. And it was just like, oh shit, she's in hospital. Oh, fuck, this was supposed to be a celebration now. And I think she slipped on some Prosecco, I think. And then because he was kind of squirting it out, there's a video of him doing that. And then you see her in the crowd in the video. And then you don't see her much after that. So I'm thinking there's fucking some Prosecco on the floor But there's like...
Yeah, she just slipped.
You're an aggressive band. You're going to get aggressive kind of visuals when you're playing.
Yeah, this go hand in hand, really.
I just, like, when I'm playing gigs, I just sit. Like, I let my kind of drumming go on autopilot and just stare at a fucking crowd fighting each other. Because it's just really entertaining for me.
Yeah, to be fair.
The way that no one's going to fucking touch you. And you sat down having a lovely time and everyone's
watching all the chaos unfold.
Yeah, I think like the amount of times where I've been at gigs and I've seen like fucking nearly like a full-on like assault happen, like well, I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I remember I went to go see Black Tongue in Leeds.
Yeah.
And I remember I was watching, and I looked to the side. You know when you just got like a weird spidey sense?
Yeah.
I remember looked to my right. I just see a Nike trainer, and that's all I remember from the rest of that night. Turns out the guy kicked me full force, spin kicked me and straight in the jaw. Yeah, I woke up the next morning, my lip there all black, all down there like bruised. And I remember the last thing I remember was Brad getting me into the taxi, going, "Whatever you do, don't fall asleep." Yeah. Genuinely, the only thing I remember from that night.
Yeah,
you're out of it.
I went to a download festival once when I think Slayer were on, and I kind of pushed my way to the front. I must have been like 17, 18 or something. And it was just like, it was a really dusty fucking year, so it was just a big dust thing. And everyone were crammed at the front, and you literally couldn't move. And this fucking bottle of piss came over and just landed between me and this other guy upside down, and we couldn't jiggle it off, and it just fucking.
You just kind of accept your fate at that point.
But it was just like, a player was just about to come on, and I'm just covered in piss. It's
That's awful.
What you get for pushing to the front.
I think it's one of them where it's like when you kind of push to the front and it's like, oh, this isn't too bad, and then everyone else pushes to the front behind you, and you're literally you're like a fucking pencil in the middle of a lot of fucking knobheads.
That's always like the dominoes effect as well. One goes, everyone's just.
Oh yeah, that's download all over that.
Yeah, the fucking download. You think for such a big place it wouldn't be so fucking cramped on when the headliners play, but fuck me.
People behind like.
I remember seeing like Slipknot there, and it was just so claustrophobic, and I was like, "There's like fucking thousands of people here. Like, why am I like fucking arm to arm with some random?"
It sounds like your feet don't even touch the ground at some points.
Yeah.
That's literally fucking maggots, though, isn't it? Because they're just fucking wiggling necks everywhere.
Is that actually why they call it?
I think so. All they see is the skin on every neck because it's a black shirt. Everyone's just going like that.
You know, you just made me remember something. I remember when Slipknot started, there must have been a family that left the fucking like chairs out.
Right.
Worst mistake. That must have ruined their weekend, because after that gig, those chairs were in bits. They're like everywhere. like they'd blown up. Like, people were standing on them, fucking grabbing them and twatting someone in the pit with them and shit like that. So yeah, one thing I kind of wanted to ask you is, you know the music video for Albert Grindstein?
Yeah.
Why? What was the idea with that? Because it's so funny.
Fucking the old singer and bassist, they were brothers, and their mum was really into all acting and things like that. She always had this idea of doing a video where it's like the mum's doing something really kind of like I think she wanted to do like a rock video of the mum's kind of doing it rather than the actual band, to give it a kind of odd concept. But then she told them to the idea, and we were just like, well, we should kind of jump on that and let's just do it. Let's have that as a fucking video. And then got in touch with some film people that they kind of knew, and they've never done a music video before, but they've done other film stuff, and kind of did it as like a favor for us. So just paid expenses basically for the video rather than full on cost of it. And I think we just kind of left it to them to write the whole fucking script of it. And we just kind of went in, did the Robert Palmer thing where it's an old person playing the drums, and then when it zooms in, it's your hands, like kind of thing. It's like the guitar, it's like, it's Rye's mum playing the fucking guitar, and then when it zooms into what they're actually playing, it's like, it's Rye. And then fucking random ideas like that. Had a mate with a warehouse that didn't mind us fucking wrecking it, basically.
Yeah.
And it just kind of cracked on from there. And just kind of had so many more ideas that kind of didn't happen. Like we were supposed to have there was supposed to be a pizza delivery guy that came in, like a proper ripped one. Like we had a mate that was fucking ripped, and they were gonna like Ben and Sam's mum was gonna rip the shirt off him and snort cocaine off the stomachs. Do all kind of that shit. And then he didn't turn up on the day, and it was like, fuck, we can't get anyone else to kind of do this. So that kind of left. It was just loads of fucking random ideas. Sorry about this cat.
No, sorry.
No worries. No worries.
You know?
Sorry, I'm obsessed.
Oh yes. Did you call your cat Albert Grindstein?
No, it's called Hank. After me, myself, and Irene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Hank turns up and he's just a pissed off knobhead. Like that.
So we've got like a segment on the show as well that we've been trying to play around with. Depends if you guys have got something that you can bring to the table. If not, it's all good. But have you guys had any like unexplained experiences? Anything, if you believe in ghosts or you believe in aliens or anything that's ever happened to you that you're like, that's a bit weird, that?
I think this one's for Rye, because I don't believe in anything like that. I don't believe in any kind of afterlife. I love listening to kind of podcasts about it and watching about like alien shit. I believe in aliens because like there's definitely something else out there. Like, I don't believe that they've visited Earth or anything like that, but there's definitely another life form out there. Like, but I don't think it's met us.
Yeah.
You know, I think like with the ghost thing, I think that humans have kind of put this self-importance on themselves. It's like, oh, there must be something afterwards because we're really important. And it's like, no, you're just a fucking animal. If we just got lucky with a few things and some shit's happened, and when you're dead, you're dead. Make the most of this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Not like if there was ghosts and stuff out there, there'd be. If you look at the population of fucking alive people, that would be just swarmed with ghosts and swarmed with animal ghosts. Because why the fuck would it just be a human ghost?
Yeah.
Like, everyone would have seen it. Everyone would have had evidence. It wouldn't just be like, oh, there was a creak in the floor in this pub that I was in, so ghosts exist.
Yeah, it's never like the haunting of the honey badger or something like that, is it? It's always like some Victorian schoolgirl.
It's always like something that, and it speaks perfect. It's like, no, it's fucking bullshit.
You never flick on like ghost hunters and see like, this is haunted by a badger.
Yeah.
A very angry badger.
If that was actually a headline, I'd be like, this is my kind of shit.
This is a truth. This is a fact. But then, Ryan believes in all this shit, so I'm going to go and get my charger and let him waffle on for a minute.
Go on, Ryan. Give us the best juicy shit.
It's hard to say I believe in it, to be honest. It's more like I've kind of had an experience once, but it wasn't really me. I saw it happen to somebody else.
Okay.
And I was with my family, and I ended up going to this. You could go on like a tour around this house. And we're in Preston, and you're actually called Chingles Hall. So anyway, we went to this it looks like a big cottage, basically, in the middle of nowhere. And this woman was taking us around this house, and my mum was there as well. And I remember at one of these, that shit me up.
That could have been better timed.
I did an interview.
It was so ominous because you were talking about that and then it looked like the door opened by itself. I was like, shit, our first ghost recorded on Headbangers.
Have I missed a real ghost again?
That shit me up, chronic. I was just like, what the fuck's that? Why is he getting cold in here? And then I just saw the door swinging open. I thought, oh, fuck.
That could not have been more perfect.
I'll give you that.
Fucking missed out on
Highlights.
It shit me up a little bit as well.
Yeah, did you see the door opening then as well? I just thought, fuck me, why is that?
But no one walked in for ages either. It was just like the door opened and then it was just like silence. I was just like, fucking hell, Nathan. Got our first ghost on the podcast.
Yeah, we just see it stand out. It's like, why is it fucking my house? No, but anyway, fucking hell. But yeah, we went to this house for a tour in Preston, and it was just kind of like, she'd tell you stories about all the rooms, just kind of a boring kind of. The history there wasn't. I mean, it was built on like a Viking burial ground and all that kind of stuff, but. There weren't that many like horror like stories or anything like that. It was just kind of like, yeah, this happened here, this happened here. But on the last room, and it was my mum as well who did it, and she wouldn't do that. I mean, it's just not because we was with like 3 or 4 other families as well.
Right.
But there's just no way in hell she would have actually done anything embarrassing. Do you know, like it's just not what she would have done. And then we were all stood there in a circle, and then. Fucking hell, my light's just fixed now.
All sorts of weird paranormal stuff going on.
Yeah, what's going on? Talk about
You've conjured him. You've conjured him.
Yeah, fucking hell, we're all like in silence while this woman was talking. Mum walked out in the middle of everybody with her hand held out, saying like a girl were holding her hand. And I saw nothing, so I was like, fuck me, what's this? But yeah, she wouldn't have done that. Like, I know her, she's just not that way inclined at all.
Yeah.
And she literally walked out claiming that someone was holding her hand, and it was just like, that's enough for me. Outside, I can have a cig. But yeah, that's about it. But I mean, I wouldn't say I believe in it, but I keep an open mind with it.
Yeah.
I think it's the safest bet with that shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I've always I'm convinced I saw a UFO at the beginning of the lockdown. Like, everyone takes the piss out of me, but I'm genuinely convinced that I saw a UFO. The first thing I did, as I messaged Brad, I was like, "You never guess what I've just fucking seen." What? It was literally just a light in the sky. I just thought it was a star. So I remember I looked at it, and like randomly it started just darting off to different directions, and then you literally blink for a second, it was gone.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to
And it was
mention that
just-
on every podcast episode.
I fucking will. I'm gonna get it out there as much as possible because the amount of people that don't believe it. So I live with my parents, and I fucking shouted at my mum like, "Mum, go have a fucking look at this," and she looked up and she went, "It's probably a satellite," and walked off. I was like,
Yeah.
"I saw it."
Similar things to that, where they've kind of stayed still and fucked around, and then kind of fucked up, and then for a few days after it, I'm like, this is real, this is blah, blah, blah. And then I just fucking, I think the drink wipes it from my mind, to be honest. I just become so fucking skeptical about the whole shit.
Honestly, I remember seeing it and it proper stuck with me. And I remember fucking, after lockdown, we came back from work and like, "Oh, did anything happen interesting during lockdown?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure I saw a UFO." And they all just started pissing themselves. I'm like, why does no one believe me?
This is why they could be there, if you know what I mean. Because no one's going to believe anyone if you saw and like prove to yourself that this thing kind of exists, and then your class is the fucking idiot, and then you slowly convince yourself, nah, that never happened. Nah, it might have been this, it might have been that, it might have been this. So there might be loads of shit that's kind of happened, and no one's got proof because it's just a fucking blip. It's just a fucking
Happens.
And all of a sudden, all the ghosts and UFOs understand that all this technology is there, and they can see if a camera's on them, and they can see if this is happening. But like, there could be so many things, like the whole kind of technology boom, if you know what I mean. The invention of the fucking microchip. Because everyone says that that's the kind of, it's found on an alien spacecraft and like the Roswell shit and kind of gone through all that stuff. But it's loads of people that kind of, it's not that they've got too much time on their hands and they're digging into fucking holes for no reason. It's people researching stuff and believing what they're researching. And then they've kind of, if you devote your life to something and believe that something's happening, you'll start seeing so much shit that proves you right, if you know what I mean. It's like researching anything on the internet. If you want to believe something, you can believe that, you can find facts for it. You can find fucking all sorts of things that point you in that direction, if you know what I mean. I think that's the problem with all the kind of
conclusions out of nothing.
Yeah, like the whole political fucking thing's done that as well. Like, people on the right are finding facts about all this shit on the right that's beneficial and all that fucking bollocks, and people on the left are finding other facts about this, and like when you're looking at a protest, they zoom in on like, here's a little cusp of it, and that guy's being a knobhead, so that means the whole protest is a knob, if you know. And it's just, you can find so many, depending what you're looking for. If you're looking for anything, you find it, so you can't believe anything, if you know what I mean.
I think like I think the thing about social media, it's our best and most toxic creation we've ever made. Absolutely. Like, in terms of technology, like, it's literally the best, because then you can keep in touch with any of your mates, even if your mate moves all the way to fucking Australia, other side of the world. You know, a couple of years ago, that'd be it. You'd never see that mate again. You never talk to them or anything like that. But now you can just text them. Do you know what I mean? And they'll text back to you, and you can actually still have a conversation with them. But then at the same time, at the same time, it's created like an environment where suddenly now everyone is like, I've got a voice. That means my opinion matters, and that means I'm going to just shove it down your throat every fucking day of your life. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
he picks out of his fucking ass because it's his dad's pointless. It's just loads of random shit that's like, it's too much. And if someone sends you a message like say a randomer fucking sends you a message, and you've seen it and gone, fuck, I don't want to reply to that. They know that you've fucking seen that message, so you have to reply. Like, there's not a, like, you're not safe anywhere. You used to like we used to still use phone boxes and shit when I was a kid, if you know, like, I'm not stupidly old, but it was like, that's how much technology's moved on, if you know what I mean. If you don't text your mum back now saying that you're on the fucking way home, you're not, like you could disappear for days, you could disappear, like, it was just, you were in your own little bubble, learning your own shit, going off a CD, listening to one CD for fucking 2 weeks and nothing else because you had no other options. There's too much.
Yeah, no Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify for me as well. But we used to collect records, didn't we, buying CDs and stuff. And I actually liked doing that, surprised. You know, where it was just like, you'd buy a CD from the artwork alone.
Yeah, I miss doing that, to be honest. I miss going in HMV and just like looking at all of them, like, oh, that looks kind of cool, I'll get that up. And then now it's just like, you know, you've got daily mixes on Spotify of just all the bands they think you like. It's like, well, you know, it makes you almost like so many bands that you know, if you were to go buy a CD now, you wouldn't know where to fucking start.
Yeah.
It's that thing of like, it's oversaturated because everyone's got a million bands. Like everyone in every band that you know that you like, every member's in a fucking 10 other bands, and then every member that's in 10 other bands. And everyone can write, you can write and record music so quickly that it's so hard to find a gem in a fucking mound of shit, if you know what I mean. Like there's so much stuff coming out that's all kind of average. So then when the gem kind of comes along, you just miss it. And it's just kind of fucked up somewhere else, and no one knows where that is. And these bands that are really good kind of get demoralized and just think, well, fuck it, I'm not doing it then. And then you find it years later, and it's like, oh, that band's not there anymore. Oh, bugger. Because it's blocked out by some dog shit band.
It's like me and Brad have like this ongoing joke. It's like, if you're a small band and you release an album the same day that fucking Corey Taylor does a statement on how long his fucking toenails are, you're not going to get any fucking publicity whatsoever from like Livewire, any fucking mainstream, like big fucking articles on your album. You never. Like,
it doesn't matter what size of fucking band. You have to pay for like PR companies to get in touch with all that stuff. Otherwise, you're not getting anywhere fucking near it. If you know what I mean, you have to like. There's a different way of doing stuff. Like when we started it was just like, I'll email Terrorizer and see what they say. I'll email this and what is it? I'll fucking get in touch with. We used to go to Bloodstock and fucking. I used to copy so many Foetal Juice CDs and we used to put fucking bits of toilet paper in there and put them in all the pockets. So then, like, when on the last day of a festival and no one's got any fucking toilet paper, you've got, like, here's a CD. Oh, mint, it's got some toilet paper in. I'll give that a listen.
Good marketing, to be honest. Can't fault it.
Yeah, that's a listen while I'm wiping my ass.
So, right, I'll take that. I'll give it, even though it's fucking ridiculous, I'll take that and I'll fucking, like, I'll give it a go on the way home because it's saved me. It saved my socks.
But the thing is, bands still do that. Like I remember, I think I've still got a CD from what a guy just gave to me at download. I think I've got it somewhere fucking because I moved house recently, but I've still got I've got a couple where it's just someone walked up to me like, "Here you go, do you want a CD?" I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I used to put them on fucking just tables and all over the place. Copy hundreds of them.
We've had great feedback from them days, though. We've had loads of people from that festival coming up to us going, "Oh, yeah, that band who gave us that CD years ago." That's happened loads of times.
Had that CD with some codeine in it and a few Rizzlers. We needed that. It was great.
So,
we used to put fucking losing lottery tickets in it and shit.
It's memorable though.
And it's just lost.
Stuff like that. People just remember it just because it's like, remember when that band gave us that CD and a fucking lottery ticket and it didn't win. I mean, they'd just be like, fucking, that was a funny time. That
there's a guy in Sweden who fucking he's in a band called Razor Rape. We did a few dates with him in England, and then we kind of, like, years later we released Big Trouble in Little Vagina, and he wanted a T-shirt for himself. So I sent him one over, but I got like a condom and put a bit of hair conditioner in it, and like and tied a knot in it, put it in the t-shirt, and fucking sent it. You know, like we know this guy, he'll be sound, he'll see it as funny. And his girlfriend opened it, and she fucking went sick at him, and he went sick at her. You're sending us news, Johnny. You fucking disgusting. All this shit, and it's like, no, it's hair conditioner. It's a joke.
You guys should like start doing fucking arts and crafts on your merch page. That's like a condom with like conditioner in it for like $6.99.
Yeah, impress your missus. Get her this thimble of fucking hair conditioner. Potential. It'll slip through her hair in seconds.
Warning, after 15 minutes might become sticky and crusty.
Do not touch any other parts with this hair conditioner.
Well, look, thank you very much for coming, guys. We've had a great time. We'd love to get you back on again sometime, and as soon as lockdown's over, we'll definitely come and see one of your gigs again. Hopefully, Boom will still be here, cross hands, but yeah, love to see you guys again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Yeah.
It's been a laugh.
I don't think I've ever laughed so much in doing an interview.
It's been fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So take care, guys. See you all in a bit.
Tune in.
Yeah,
check out Foetal Juice. Check out Gluten. Thank you very much.
Yeah, check out Gluttony. See you in a bit.
Take care.